Kore Gambia network all ma kutul kasa commencé. Ya, isa siano ila batung ASEAN na personal profile. Personal profile. Assalamualaikum comrades, assalamualaikum Gambia, assalamualaikum badimulu lamoyer lalu mele alon koy mendika kawmoy anin mele alon koy benyim programme no makam mbal konton na bake altolla anal konton na nin comrade Yankuba o nzafo Gambia citizen journalist Yankuba Jallo no lebe yang puruka tributo di mbadi mala me alon ko akata banko e bake akata Gambia journalist community yen ada akata Gambia fangola survival o yenne parce que momen nga Gambia nol karandi momen nga Gambia nol london momen nga Gambia nol so awareness la ninko awareness wolom ka kalamutandiro ta kadi Gambia nol la way kata bale ke Gambia e men alon ko ajo anajo sayo be kole ala bake wodo be bismillah la na lamor la mela lon ko emailon isit kumo demande fo ifayen ifangono kuoto nan lamor la len pour isalon ba assalamu alaykum namba fala de la programme wala mo menga ko akana le sibiti alsa saya mo jama senano ngakacha bake ngalong mo jumala mo nyinti anin ay mun din kala tu Gambia kono ba bismillah la Yankuba
baraka bake brother be konton na be jube lal be konton na content ka kafal mani programme interview kacalem ñalon ko kumayata sa fale ko ndito mu Yankuba Jallolte mu journalist olti be dok wala Korean newspaper for like 6 years now 6 years the journalist yala so fanang telling young journalist association Gambia Young Journalist Association wala president oti I'm the president of the Young Journalist Association of the Gambia and fanang who lost student at the University of the Gambia. So that's just brief about me.
O betata bake albar hako wen la nyende de ngai comrade because ndaka Gambia nol be kumandi comrade la so because ngaje ko Gambia nol be be banku din kilinati be mu na ideal si fatano bari be mu kule be menno ma wala mu banko eta nyato ambe men kacala bi wala mu mbadema ablaiti me alo ko afatuta amambe yemuna lom ala koto mu mosi falo Gambia ne to gol lafte ko commencer dal ko tege Yankuba malon foy kam moy le well natari kam moy Yankuba isa tanole offline yemuru nare ya jibe fo obetano la lo because yim programme kumata bakele ngalong Gambia dimulu yemun do ko sifale ke Gambia no le janin ala be silema parce que na dino to na adolto nimmo fatuda e ka fo en ko alialo kol kacha ku kendol melalon ko a wole bara al dunia balu ko nalun ada be kuma la bake na comrade Abdoulie na la kol kacha parce que a kata Gambia yele ay do ko ke Gambia yele woto nin kume mbonya abe kuma la bake na kata ngala kolu kacha Gambia la network ko lafta la ke bulo bula bari na soto la ko take mba fole bismillah ise fam on mute no later. Ibe mute rim. Ibe mute rim de. Matunga jibe fo be on mute no la. Okay, say on mute. Ese tano. Ela fla ela network ela voice on bukamoy. E on mute tale bot mbuke malon fo la moy la ke la moy la ni ke moy arti safero ke kayita ko al ka moy la wala al bukamoy bot nda buke moy. La moy la buke moy nda buke moy la moy la buke moy. Ñim programme o ñanta kuma la baake ga benn to ko ñanta ka ñimbula iben kam fandi kan baadu lo wa felenti network be bulo bula kam mboka moy adum ñanta la ka moy because akuma ta le ngalong because mbani ni kala ku jamal la gambia la kol kono national assembly programme ol belali ñamen na ila young journalist association mo programme si fan len be bulu ibe mun la ke kam pour ka improvement ol ke so programme o ñimbe kuma la bake ani la neutrality be ñaadi le ni na ta kibaro la karola so nde ku jamal katala itale mu mécanisme le plan pour ka wol so kacañin dal aɓe fanolale aɗuma ñanta kumala bakile but gambian networkol ɓe men ke kanten dal ñanta wo stop la de ya jiɓe kukoten jiɓe because ñin kum dal programme o ɓe ñamen na ñanta kumala bake woto nin kummen bo ñama bi mañana sonna ñin networkole kete because ñin last week networkol la ñin maña sifale ke fonna programme o man tano ñanta tala ñam you know comme ni nakalo ke kam pour gambia ñin se boje be ñin diamu kam pour gambia at least gambia france good network soto mi alon ko c'est articulate noir gambia c'est good network soto mi alon ko c'est la programme keno c'est la internet c'est la compagnie do kundilo mi alon ko as correct atra ko ñin struggle be tatarno la ke yela data sang data dabe koleari il faut moy le kodo bondi kum yi data sang yena pour ni gambe no le kacha ata possible nola because company wol buka los wala kodo wol ka wasotole a koleata ba ngadiata ba wol kela kodo sotole item banku dum wolete yele data sang na utili na autorité soto men ngalon ko wala marata ko nyina wala nyanta be regulate la ndema lon pour ba mum do ko sifala nim atara ko network compagnie le mela lon ko be gambia kono service min ngale nyanta di la gambia no le kadi gambia no la nyanta di la nyame ñim frustration mo warta bakele yela ko do wonde kun $1,000 $1,200 fo men si ata wote eta credit ko san ite nano la life fa ite le programme le keno ite diamu la moli ite articulate no le left articulate le nami because network ko ni la call kenya kamal you know this is frustrating so ni system le system le mela lon ko nyanta le kefa broda yankuba nga me mem moy kane say
ha me moy kane me moy kane fa
nga mira network all alami continue la ten because adi amo siata la gambe non la ni network all come frustrating le sometimes me men kacha kan no wala broda uplighty na senior COMRADE le mati bari ite alon professionally ite alon ba ke journalism la karola mum mo si fa la mati
yalon journalist la doko a fonta bakale andum ate multi yalan ko a specialized on agriculture and then aka senelal ya aka lokungol wala karol fonkeje ani be kata kan because nyaji be gambia la media bebe one side le mol be jamma fango kombola area. So these are the other side of the country mol be kela cool for back. Bare kata ani family si ila kunkolto ila korralto ila taradulalto ani ka kacha ila batal aka safe anu akata fana ay masa kunda nyin kay be mun kino la ko faling kaje ko general fana e nyaata ta soto so adam multi fo ay kolomo soto no fora ka fa farmers ay mo ka ko fam farmers ay la wala general la nya kaje ana sanglu ngo people from FAO wala nata no jele fa kada la sango konton la so we ku jama itande ko mo le mialon ko abe menke kanu ala ke kan ku anu mol kontanta la ko la bakel because ni nata fana respect to ala humanity officer to aka amoya ta bakel ani mol be ya soto le officer to akala even mol ka man onkul ba ka jale ko do biya ko mamale ka tonye bakel you know and then he was working for the Fora radio pour a tanyat because radio ni anata le ala kata kam bakel pour radio tanyat and donc followership sort of come back listeners radio station on you know so ay multi melan ko ay fengo fen ka rek a commit le ana sa xarin wato men rek aka force la na do ko be ka jele sondal some of this staff ka fay ko idi nyande ka si soko na ka fo no aka fo office need me you know aman strong no back bar hanu kana so mole melan ko he was committed ala doko anu alan ke mudu melan ko am chair journalist len kasi office ko no ka ko sa fe melan ko adate you know atakata feel to akata time spend 1 month 2 months or some weeks na you know so a multi fana kamul kachandi bake kamul kunundi ka hakilo di mol you know we gonna remember 2015 doila congress in Bansan ntara ji nawe sidi me kachala suto fam the day arrived nawe kachala akanyini ka kujamala doila karola what do I know about doy principle and kumba na nyini ka jabi na nyini ka enjabi so I motivate wolungo bakel so mo me an ka mul motivate bakel so it was but the only team yalon ko safono momo so copinable wala he's always ready to sacrifice both his time you know both his resources sacrifice for the people whether relative or those even close to him you know so he was also receiving like akunda bakel akela moy mola bakel so I was accommodating so because the last time I met him was you know the Foreign Workers Association ila Secretary General front so meeting also there's an office there that is his office that day another lately until we did the meeting inside that office that was the last day I met him you know because Mbokata office back I don't go to office much Nkatara court back I spend my whole day at the court Nkatara office sometimes once in a week or twice you know yeah so that I can recall I went to Nyaka Yankuba NGV I Jelta Natavita what he was that type of person you know Abuka grudge soul but this is duano because seven phone wala being a duala fire because fana ngami mo yala sanga dula fana imamo ba ko foka because dani imamo ka salim doke ataka ka kawndo ko yaka mul karandi ya dino la ake londi ifan wala ay la londi fana ila Mario la be Mario batun na nyame so imamo yo ku imamo le kacha habeki wulungo fa ku jamal fo dibala karola asunta no bakere imamo fa ila area to je in farato so that was a positive message from the imam yeah.
Alhamdulillah o kuma da bak adu nimmo kachata la kola fana o daymo PDOIS fonko nosiri londi nyakoy atarta jele katati cinke kamul karandi ala taota hanabe journalism la wato men na fatata je wato wa sekol to kanyini karol ke anim famal be kachata anene man time soto ni ngalon ko tata bolon kono amam futa o nursery school kamul karandi kamul motivate molo mengalon ko nanyo siata Gambia ngamira me do bi ite warna ba
yalo ni ajibe famo wotumo to membe forea mo fulol forea ka sacrifice menke ntol men bije santen to keno la fa ni mo molet mi alan ko banko la problème tare ya dunu i pareta pour ka falin ka je ko falin ngoy soto banko kan ka bata bondi mol kan jam anyun mo sifa letno so pour ka ay mellon londo kata ka dinngol karandi ala fana o man ko kolenti tol kono always this type of people it's all la category la age wol mo molet mi alan ko pareta ko la anytime so ni mo molet mi alan ko they are always open because honey, for example, when I was young in the primary school and even junior school, they can uncle Sammy, I can study in the maths and physics with no payment. And like I can dole, don't see them like this, but they don't feel big. Honey say I can mole, you know. So these are people. You move sifa, you move let me alone. It will be another level. It will come in. Well, do know ni wala batani ka bondi mol kanyame. And one of the way come on mako ka bondi barata ka londo dilala. So it will ipareta londo la because education is the key. So I found world before even I been a foreigner from even for Neko, he was even a teacher. I will quit another foreigner. So join the struggle. Isaje ko kabanko liberate ka bondi bata kon foreigner ka ko mulbe baru life of liberty, dignity and prosperity. So he is a very very instrumental person. Ni nata fana in that line in terms of educating people. Aka awareness create back on the people. So school of ngala ku jamal mojele, you know. So he's someone me alonko is what emulating is a person me alonko most of us should take him as a role model, you know, because he's having of first thing fanjin and your openness is something me alonko near kalam to you are just a human being. You are here to serve a purpose, you know. I know you live life impacts on people's life because even during the Foria open line, Morka call kind what they know about him. People are talking about even Foria staff in Ataje with Diamka. Guys, some of them he encouraged them to become radio journalists because some were only inclined to newspaper. But I can motivate. I encourage Kafoeko. You can do it. For sign they are doing it the way they are doing it right now. You know, so he's always interested in helping people. So Okarandiro Nyako you know, it was a good project. Nyako is a good project, you know. Though I did not pass through Nyako, but it was a good project because I've seen someone Nyako now is a prominent journalist in the Gambia, you know. And I've seen Nyako la kujama phone. You know, so but Londo le kumaitare. So it all parata fananka Londo di molla.
Alhamdulillah alamane mani kafar kala e bake say nak donoto da telle bulu atel mel karandi ay londo di alla a tray akal motivate kayta lako nyinam lifeti nyinam sidoti anyanda kamen tamandi say ala lodula nyin ngalon ne afando be kol yala bakel bari anyanta katale le fero fere ay dinko mentu foroya anala doku bundato anim family to mbele nyanta katala ngawo mafa ngawo dinko ni suki akana long because ngalo na be kole ala bakele etel mo dantal be Gambia kono la ila lodula nyim pour ka fandi abe kole ala bakele so mbe badumul be danila mobe dawoda ise doyen fo ala se arjanna firdaus ka tatlati kol min fotalo koto nak meji kirine kaje ko abe kala molati me alon ko sallallahu alaihi wasallam rasul ba ji alale firdaus kono la be ten to bake be jagila say be nala gidin karo men na wala mu ita fawla positionoti yeme mara youth journalism ako be nyaadi le ako ke batan di nyaadi ake batan le ban fodum you are okay with it
Hani nasa journalism la karola ajiri wana base la ni fani leader kono because le dama le kafani ale na professional institutional sector yalon ko the media academy for journalism and communication yalon ko dama personnel ya lendi le dama le karan kanje ya lendo le fata even though some of them yalon ko yende kata le fata level yalon standard you don't have standard in our journalism. They work on a level. you do what you want to do. Someone can be on the field. Currently, the first currently, production. Another case professional sports mentality at Maya for different. Kalau naka has affiliated
Maɗo makoɓe go kandami makando bare makamɓe waɗa yiyede man
maybe network. Munda may somehow learn. So, come back to London Dimola, and there are some institutions like even the University of the Gambia. Will go to the to come with current. But it come problem is the Mola Toronto. That's simply whatever you invest, the kind of the back. And I'm parallel, the Karamala, and I'm going to Alam niya sa kagul loyalty, you pass the university at the state at Kitchener, then I urge. The journalism mo standard sila. Dahil mo sa kanya niya, but na free ko niya lang ko, na ko put in place niya lang ko, na integrity ni the guideline, dahil lang ko, kanalang mo. So, tayo lang, the next question in 2021 ba, na ko, na code of ethics, na review, na kata at nga adopt ako na code of ethics tapos ko na dialog kata abige ang nga popularize nga journalism jail bara men kada dole ya hannu sai education policy kanan dige
yankuba
ajawa kare kale mo don some people are trying a lot because there are people here
makawo warri la je do mande mbuke moy baake because makawo men be je ayira kuma kawol kadu dabulu nyoto do mande maro holla mo lal be la moy kan but makam dimbe warri la je do mande foy la head funo lo mu wala ko tel ne be je do malo
no abanga episode bondi madam that is lonely, it's very lonely.
okay sa be kulle
mala fe moy kan say
yes
it's good now.
Yes. It's good.
Okay. So, in for no journalist la Carola wala hani sa capacity ko ning abijane. And nina fanang another issue melanko is the greatest problem for the journalists, especially the young journalists. Wala kuti melanko motivation. What is you know? For like for example in the legal field they have senior lawyers and all those categories where junior lawyers can learn from. But Gambia jam also man standard sort of on that issue, And also another issue is the issue of another aspect of motivation. Well, media houses, because like staff will go. So they are always vulnerable. Staff especially these online TVs and newspapers, they can more use back because I have evidence of that. I can complain back because some even some newspapers because the staff will find you correct, So would be problems, but the the future of the media is bright in the country, So,
but when disappointed the money because Minister of Information journalism me alonko a meta fight la journalism la karola obe keno la nyadile discrimination of the young journalists on the Carola wale tellement academic londino me alonko yodde journalism sitano ka karanje wo dal wo disappointed la Carola bake wonya da kelane because ni ibe ko men fight kan janni be pawani soto la ni ya pawani soto ngame nyanta trailer le yo maintain ani ba
so ikajale fan
go ahead
ko ikajale sometimes some journalists ikalafikata ikadoko ikata karangola but media house most of them because some work kusifala they block them they tell you either take job or you go for school so it all once you are working for them you should not upgrade yourself osifa fana bijana some journalists are facing this issues here but some of them also like they are sacrificing because passion. But the situation, as far as I know, even though it's not a matter that I should have said, but I would say it. It's like many people have lost passion in the field. During in these past 3 years, many journalists, more than 20, left the field and joined the government as communication officers because neighbor government, you have fixed salary and then you are assured of your salary every month. they left not because they don't want to be in the media, but because of the situation. And then we expect more people to go. I've seen some people even stop going to work. Even just like 2 hours ago, I was talking to one of them. Now encourage them. But I could now like let her focus on writing feature, and then I can work at least it works with editors. I picture send to other editors. Me I all file. I let them work with them. At least one story as a korosology. At least that is the feature. But Ninata, the situation here is even the Game Press Union from nga collective bargaining dada a document that will have bind the media house, the workers, and the arbitrary labor Department of Labor. But saying it could not be enforced because the media chiefs don't appreciate it. I appreciate because what they put there is the minimum salary for journalists should be 5,000 a reporter. So that is too huge in their head because they survive by means of exploiting their reporters. That is the situation here. But also, our leadership at the union also haven't done enough to implement the document. I would say that here again because I've told them, because near try, they say they are going to actually they identify one person to be a mediator, and that person resigned for months. They did not tell us. For Kabrinta Kalamta, I told them, this man resigned. Why don't you tell us? We are waiting for his intervention and see the outcome of the work. But they until today they did not confirm that he has resigned. What they did is he was the head of the media council. They sworn in another person, but his mediation work nothing until now. We don't know what the outcome is. So that is the truth. So now we are at a crossroad. We don't know where to go, but we are waiting for the new president to be sworn in. Hanisa is sworn in. When he is sworn in, as the Young Journalists Association and also as a member of a group in journalism fraternity called Balance, we always raise issues. Whether these people like it or not, but like, this is what you should do. Sometimes it's not nice to them. So in Tulfana, we will be ready to take it up, push, and even work with them. Kajeko, we have each media house staff association they will help us. They will put pressure on their media owners to sign those documents and become binding on them so that each journalist will have a minimum of 5,000 and editors will have their salary, and then layout. Each salary is mentioned and the rights of everyone is mentioned. So all those things, they are in place. But the reality is journalism, you see people, you say you will not even be able to buy a bicycle. Yeah, that's the situation in the Gambia. There's full of exploitation. We write about people a lot, but there's a real exploitation in the media fraternity. And this, you can speak to many journalists, they will confirm this to you. We have direct evidence, direct contact with people who have been exploited, and then we also know how it's happening. So whatever they are saying, like events, so that they will bring people like Madi and others to talk. I oppose it always. I even wrote a letter to the GP the last time that the next time they have an event and invite Madi Jobat on a platform, I'm going to protest because he does not talk about us. He does not feel what we are feeling. Akatara a GPU page, journalism platform, Game Press Union page, he is there, but he does not talk about us. But he will comfortably come and sit on the high table and talk about advising us. He does not. He's seen whatever we wrote because I always click to see those who read. He always read what we write, but he, So the issue is, journalists must also be ready. Nyandaka unity sort of there is somehow mantra no come back and this is why even at the Young Journalists Association we want to establish what we call a Young Journalist Assembly, where each media house will identify 2 people to sit in that assembly. We'll talk about our issues and then we put forward to the GPU and then we work with the GPU to move those projects or those ideas to ensure that everything is implemented. So that is the situation as far as I know about the media. So capacity gap and also the issue of motivation is also another thing. The exploitation is so huge that many journalists are quitting. Some are even staying at home. They prefer being at home. Some prefer going to government to serve as communication officers. In fact, some of them who apply to become communication officers, we are not choosing because they were many. So many are even wanting to leave. They have be yearning to leave the profession. So it's very disheartening to as a journalist to see your colleagues leaving. That's so sad. So, but union, Gambia Press Union, Okarola, I can't say, I'm not trying to tarnish them, but they are not doing enough to help us. They did a research on the work condition of journalists. That was so good. The research was well articulated, but in terms of enforcement, like the government, they always have issues of enforcement. So we have to ensure that this document pass. That will be the test of everything, even us as young journalists.
But
we participate, so we are going to ensure that, work with them to ensure that this pass, or else any executive that comes will be a failed executive without this document.
But if National Assembly mar role soto nyinta wa falto wol engage nola because lual melalon ko e belari melalon ko nyanta falinda journalist on the Carola Gambia is too much. Ni lual fanal falinda maybe ale freedom also dom because ngajale ko information bill nyim pastale but ning institutional mallo pour ka implement albe o implement no la nyadi le ala right dolbe wolbe lo no la nyadi le kaje ko fanyin sake because ngaje lo ko fana be journalist all this stop come back le because kudol be je minister of justice ngamira anyanto fana because ndela jero to dal anyanta mo jamal le engage la nyin kol kono la Gambia la network ko affaire data ko because ngaje lo ko Gambia do kudal say nyanta ka council to ila do ko bundal to nyantele ka lo ngi semenke bo be keno la nyadi le anytime molbe problem ol kono drop anytime molbe problem kono molla salary bu kesi nkame fono wolo mu nyinde ko for minister of justice fali wol fanal kala mo tande nyinnala because nga itelum justice ti men ngalon ko nyanda ka mobe le sa but africa la problem wolo mu nyindi hani se loi kendo so to comme implementation of ka problem wolo everywhere mba try no la nyadi le ngani be stop.
Okay. Nina is like labor. Labor, we have Department of Labor. And now in that meeting, there was a meeting where Gambia Press Union organized. The media chief Sobe Kumandi, journalists on from Obiji, I was there, and then the GPU were there. Labor from Obiji, they were talking. So, how this document be explained. Consultant be explain that document. What is the content? Media chief, some of them were even leaving the hall 2-3 minutes going in and out. They were not interested in program or band. Some who were there, some of them even do not comment. Some left before time. All those things show that they were not ready. So there was a suggestion from one of the senior journalists that we need to actually make sure it becomes binding by going to labor, we sign it and gazette it. Then it becomes binding. But it was opposed. It was not actually welcomed. So we took the approach of actually taking a mediator. But that mediator should have reported to the GP, report to the labor. What is the step? Even the membership of the Gambia Press Union, sometimes Bornan Congress, they did not tell us. This is because for me, I think like the efforts are not enough. Because near a step one time, you are the people who said, let's go for that effort. You identify a person to mediate. Now that person who was a mediator, in fact, was a lawyer. He left without even telling us. Until members we don't even know. Until as the members of the balance, we put it in the GPU page that this man has resigned. Why don't you come and tell? Why don't you tell members? Until later they replace him with someone. But until now, nothing has been said. And then we are waiting for the swearing of the new president. And then if he's sworn in, then actually I'll lead some people to go and meet him, and tell him this is what we want, within this time, this is how we do it. Because their plan did not work. Their plan was mediate, and then mediator, actually for me, I would say he betrayed us. He did not actually do anything that we can see. Even though the media chiefs were not welcoming, these are human. You come back to us and report. That was the simplest thing you can do. But you resign without even telling us what the outcome is. So it's like Kodibale doing the new project Kokon. Kodonisha battle is in millions of dollars. That project, is a welfare project of the Gambia Press Union, $19.5 million. So, but still, the company they say called bread and butter issues of journalists still remain. Journalists' rights are still not actually respected. We state always violate our rights, but also media chiefs also violate our rights. But the violation for well, they survive by means of exploiting their staff and reporters. That is the truth. So, but you know, thank God, the institution I'm working at, for we have a staff association. Though yesterday is on the 31st. By that time, everyone has received his or her salary because of unity membership. So we have ensured that there's unity. Since 2014, we found that association there, and it's still alive. You know, we organize ourselves in a way that from every month we contribute something to the association, $50, and then we also have social fund. We contribute $100, making it $150. People take loan from the association. They go and do their things. They are saying. So yeah, like we are helping ourselves, and then the office also respect us a lot because of the unity. Office look at the staff where they speak through the association, and then in fact on the 15th of this January we'll be having our AGM. We report. We are consistent in terms of reporting. We do auditing. We provide them with even the bank statements, everything. We ensure that each of them get a copy to know this is what we have earned, this is what we do, and this is what we want to promote in other media houses. Because as the SB of Korea, I know the importance, and this is why if we have this in all media houses or in most of the media houses, then if they are united and they collaborate with the Assembly of Young Journalists, I can bet that this document will not take 1 year that it will be implemented. Because if they speak in one voice, the media chiefs will raise their heads and say, "Wow, these people are now ready." And then when someone is ready, you know what that person means. So this is but you know, at times you see people talk at the media house and discuss, but one person will just go and as a boy of the media chiefs, the person will go and disclose the information. So, but if there is unity, there will be strength. And this document, we cannot afford to miss those millions. You know, the project even has a timeline. I don't know whether it will be extended, but I'm not sure the deadline. But for me, I think if not expired, is about to expire. So this 19.5 we have spent on it, and then we want actually to
be accountable.
They should be accountable.
Yes.
Even for example, also the COVID fund. I don't know whether you recall that the government gave us $15 million. I encourage some of my people, very close people, journalists to me. I always encourage them to do stories about it. That this was misused. I can say it anywhere. Most of the journalists are crying. The beneficiary as journalists do not receive it. It happened here. But because people are not united, it happened to them. You know, you got to see media chiefs taking the money and using it in their way. They gave some media houses even gave journalists 2,500. Only 2,500 from that huge amount of money. You know, it's production and all those things. You know, the Ghana Press Union came up with their first document, that is how to use the money. They change it. And then for us, people like me, ask all the journalists, I told them, let's maintain it. They said the media chiefs were not happy. They called the minister, they were doing things that they want the document to change. I told them, we are more powerful than the media chiefs. We are the people working. They cannot pay us, but the government gave us money. So that money should get to us. If they want to misuse it, unless we sleep, well, it cannot happen. You know? Until now, I don't know whether they present that money to the National Assembly, but the money was huge. Most of the journalists, the targeted people did not get it. Some even were not paid. Some did not receive it. So that 15 million, if there is a risk, I told some journalists to actually follow it, you know, follow it up. But I don't know, they are after what? No, I told them to follow it up. If they follow it up, they will get to know the truth, that the money was squandered. Most of these FM stations squandered the money. Most of these newspapers squandered the money. These online media houses squandered. Even they give money to media houses that are not even media houses. I don't know whether you know that. Because where you have less than 5 people, you call that a media house. A Facebook page, you call that a media house. You give that person 100,000. That's what happened.
God.
The National Assembly has a lot of things to do. So you know, when I'm speaking about the media, I speak with passion. I don't hide anything. This is the problem that I've raised. Until now, I not see anything changing. You know, that money it was better that they did not even give us that money. For me, it was better that the government did not give us that money. You know, I respect all those media houses that do not take the money. I respect them a lot. And I also respect those media houses that share the money evenly to their staff, fully. I respect those media houses. Yeah. But those that also squandered, we know them, and then we know what they did. Their staff complained to us, you know. And then they were part of a committee they call Grant Management Committee. You know, they went around to monitor the implementation. But until today, you know, for me personally, I don't know. I don't know whether they've done anything. They come up with anything. I know. But you know, even auditing that committee, in fact, we understood what they were paying themselves, even though I don't have evidence of that. But people told me what they were paid. Well, I was waiting for the audit report to know what they were paying themselves. So this is the truth, as far as I know, that that 15 million was not properly used. It was misused, and it does not get to the targeted beneficiaries.
Thank you very much. Abaraka bake ka mbe container ka chala ka banku kendo soro ate fono la National Assembly kendo koma. Nkana National Assembly tombo la. Adu nyinkuma bake pour Gambia no lialo sulata mosi fa nyaadi lelela. Pour kata National Assembly pour ketel represent National Assembly parce que ni ko National Assembly wala ko to munyinti banko la bantaba banko la kachadula menga banko nafa ani memma banko nafa ka kacha dami mbela fele ni kacha man ka kamolo bake parce que ngaaje ko anglais ko moy la seni ate be anglais ko ndam mala foka boti be ni seni andelale ya ko indi man ka kawla ila best of knowledge kaaje ko ay ko nalla mo la ko nyanta mun National Assembly sifale tombonna pour Gambia la nafa kan amanke nyinti ko mbadi mo mo kariti nin kar la wuluta wala ndenga political party kari nga carte fay wala nyin carte fayo bari be mo men tombonna ka sama National Assembly wala nyanta di site la ete be tax sifa nyaadi de jola ite ro tax me ya jo abe fitane ite ma nyaadi de ji koy ji seno men nyanta fitale la sate ko no be fitala je nyaadi de mun kum mayale be ji ani Gambia no nyanta National Assembly sifa nyaadi de tombon Mr. Jallo
Baraka Bakel. Député la doko afanuta Bakel ana kumayata because nga president kate fire nga sindi andong ala own government minister abe tombona na tombong program and policy ba dadala ito le tara marlim banko la aranke sola ka ila project ko tamandi kaje ko e mol bondi batakono because nila constitutional section 1 subsection 2 ako masakunda anada fu kamol la bata bondi kamol bondi batakono ke sama balu nyima kon wala section 1 subsection 2 to promote the general welfare of the people. So ni masakunda soto then nyanda ka step do takorenke wala kata député tombo anu mistake ko men keta bankola bet nta jamfan la kon 2017 député election on April men keta je wala molde carte file even some of the people inaka regret because some of their members even will not get back their seat because why email verification okay because danika carte karfa mola ku mala because niya dunde rek abuka sangi lul anu luwal membi jang ya kolendi nyala isajo kan itala député fam ka recall is another problem problem what ka député recall is a problem so like député la doko ni nata for example budgeting la inata fana luwa dada inata fana ka banko represent outside the country fengo fen hada madimo ni ite la korra kono ani be bungo loka ikala the best thing akeje so we ite after representation bani sa ite mon best person jube momi alon ko asa doko da fano asi banko as contribute no ka banko sama nyato amanke moti mi alon ko abitaje kala kofo ni data constitutional fando section 112 ako député la doko ni bakela yanda ka national interest anin conscience banko la wala jubela anin fanan nyaatata anin jurwa banko la banko la interest da rek nyanda ka wala jube ha ngaje la fanan men kata député 2017 kada fo bi is a lesson for everyone even tala can prepare for 2022 April election on because député nke jokko di balla e mantara mo le free service la e ka sacrifice le pour ka yeko ifana ye kota ke banko la yurwato ha bar sain libe jubero kala yande ka mari la men jube wala integrity first thing ala waso amari wasatala is very important pour ko jube amari la londo fanan fa quand même fo aba kele fa lonna be fo kan aba kele nyaadi la nyanda ka ko indi mala because nte I cover 2017 April election on ntata North Bank le ntata jang Lower River region I cover the campaigns there what some of those MPs coming from the call for mbe jionat la le mbe silo na la fo fanka jakal ta fanka fo nyuli yele do ko la ne ba you know so you don't need those type of people and another responsibility is also for political parties to present good candidates, not just presenting candidates. Because Gambia, many people are loyal to political parties, not because of agenda, they are just loyal. They will never give, they will vote for the person. So it's also a duty, it is also a duty incumbent on all political parties to present good and credible candidates. Because some of the candidates, even some of them even lost. You know, those you have to bring someone who understand issues. You know, some of them even National Assembly, this 2017 batch, it told more that they learn through the process. They never know about the National Assembly before coming. So National Assembly issues, you know, political parties are institutions. They should educate their members. Leadership, national service, all those things, even law, you teach your people to know their rights and obligations.
Yeah,
so but most of these political parties need to ela bureau to kamen ke je wala ataya. It's a newspaper reform. Sometimes you can newspaper read level, some of them. You know? Katabal. To take one topic or general discussions to come the hands of the day, kataka. You know? Some kind of connect with it to use it. But you will not see the party policy in that bureau. You will not see that party agenda. For most I read, you know, need a bank to bank. You can't tell it can promote. So political parties also need more to teach that person. And even see, even most of them see that kind but put books there, even your screens, put your party manifestos, discussions there. Put Moses here, Jubia, a euro, I find euro and it no. But the most important thing for a leader is you need to be prepared before taking up the responsibility. But most of our people, they can't tell just because party later made it. They struggle. You know? So representation is not a matter of eye service, but a matter of national service. Like me alonko, our actions is going to affect the entire people. And then next time also, you know, parties have strong base. Or party in a strong base, I want that people will vote. They don't even ask questions what that person has for us. So Gambians should be ready to ask questions from their representatives and their political parties. You know, there are a lot of things you know, on issues of representation. Ni a draft constitution ojiba ku jamal na tije mo le nyaka so bukola buko ngi wara ba. You know. So Gambia nyanda ka kachale sendi katami nyo saboti nyo sabo nya ka mon murundi ko bakere ngalla mo me londo soto you know mo me alon ko e fo section wala ko hakilo juru ada kaje ko e banko sambala nyame e quand même fo ya londe amanke rek mo me an ko e sila rek election kana e fitina pam ya fo ko no so but integrity is important and that one I find it very important. Even more choose. So there will be all parties. Some of them will be testing they will contesting for the first time because we have new parties after 2016. So what will happen is they will all bring candidates. Some of those candidates, in fact, may not know the issues. So it's the responsibility of parties. Just support that person who has issues. Everything, winter is not going to represent your party there. Bankole represent. So, kula me ko nyanda kan nyaayela say nga bankola ko jube kaje ko bankola nyata en tugi nyafa. Isaje ko Gambia na moto movement progress, peace and prosperity. But progress, peace and prosperity those who know not ram nyata ko pareta ka sacrifice. Nyata ko miyalon ko londo be bulu. Ni mol soto rek banko nyata ka soto nola. Na progress, peace and prosperity will remain as a dream. It will right people in the right position. Munyanko is a keno nga karte fay way.
Wolam toñati network ko felenti kan abena kan malon foy kam moyle but network ko mambeti abaki ninge faham bake e be men articulate kan wolam nyindi ko because nganna party system wol Gambia la party system wol nga men understand ye wolam nyindi ko consequently fon député consequently ni constituency ni fon wala mon len kamol select comme kata bay e fen ko la a congress munul la e fon ke la député tombe mendi la patiola foni mo tombo me alon ko based on maybe tribe or based on ala mole siata or ala ay mole bribe committee ni kono me alon ko bari committee central patiola mol fon central committee fon alon ne ko nyiwo kay anata ta national assembly be tarra jele doron kasi ni men nata ko yes o ko no wasifa o isu sifal ngabe nan telephone has bank dingul nyantalo na lembe jumale selekla pour kadi patiola pour ya sponsor dina ka fo doron mbadi wala mo kariti kaf ñoo malon kariti wala fewle bente bulu be kadi lafta kari wala tara ñeñe wasifal dal pour ko wol stop e be mu yamar len di no la Gambia no la because time mo jam fa baaki ñanta 1 hour la kala jam nga ita Gambia no la ko tonya nalbe national assembly mol tombonna al ñanta trailale ale mol tombo mela lon ko amanke dro yalon no damma soto bari ya ala nya silon soto kaje ko ibe ta kam men na je wala mu ka banko la bata bondi ka gam banko la ko dota ka dum di dulato anyanta dum na dami akana ta mo la poso kon comme nga menje ni national assembly men ngalon ko atambe da sainde majority tarta je le me alon ko ndafala abe but majority tarta je le me alon ko i mantara wo do ko kekan parce que dolbe je wolé la best traine but nal doyata national assembly responsibility ni hanni majority data al bele ka decision ni ta nyola woto mba fala ko kodo men be kasarata ka bani covid-19 bang ani minister li kamen arrangement ki ka ko ye kodol soto le fo e fa su bumol lo Dakar foto nyaare be je foto nyaata ji nimbe mu kulati mi alon ko national assembly nyanta bulala normale kitol melalon ko bebe dendi mol mi alon ko ye tumile tumo nyulbe dendi me samba kitol la ye samba kitol la kuma mbato kuma kiskisi ni national assembly la ñu fay ki sokone ne bulo chodi mola imam mo kitindi imam inim pura fam kon de malo e mun do ko si fala ke men se gambe dum satisfy no ko la ken na comme ya fa nyamen mo dol be i ka fa la fa le national assembly dolu i hana taro hana amajere fa wole mu hunare because he may satisfy ngamira tombondir la ñu ne kata problème mo nit be misalo de la NPP la ñu national assembly kuto me ya tombo kabri ya tombo fana national assembly ani sa ndem ndefa nte na ma ya platform mo fa takalo ka kufo me alon ka se Gambia dum nyafano so nyimu kulati me alon ko nyanta Gambia dum fa lo ngabe la del fa nyanta di sati la say mbe momme sambala national assembly pour benna na flo taman nya nyita ma sakundala nyame wo mole ke molti me alon ko tonya hani e dal sululo kaf karafala sanyi lulu ni mutana ibe da sululo nyin tarla je ngamira nyanta kata la mom mo sifal tambo so
yalo
program ya kana bang isi Gambia no yamari after saji be ma close la nyam.
Ha, comme même fota kuma battle because yalong party la constitutional to. Ika party mel democratic because neither constitutional section 60 ako party be nyanta ka democratic principle le follow. So neither democracy momo nyanta ka selection ka nyanta ka bo mo le bulu mo le nyanta ke tombo. But to mondiro nyanta ka procedure so le ani process me alon ko nyanta ka follow. Avant que mo le ba bulo chodi la fo ko ngani neta albe bula nyoma hani. Ni chodi ako ngani nominate do fana nyanda ka findi la fo ko te fana ngani nomi wala do fana fin lasale say fo ate katake ala di nyola mo kine tambi wala nalma nyo d'accord ala ta primaries but it's very hard ye primaries the Gambia jang at the level of the constituencies kadame so ni nataka mo select men correct kay you need to open up momo yalan ko you know that you can serve the people, you are ready to serve, readiness for important then ya mari sama primaries ye selection okay so wala na party policies la principle ani la all electoral laws me alan ko en ka translate to the level of the ward and the constituencies pour kaje ko e botombo tamondiro ni o kama saje ko they will not choose people because someone point at them one finger ka ko ngani tombo but generally accepted, you know, and the person me alan ko bina tombo na kala multi me alan ko na try ala ka winter then ate mari abe ila constituency be content na be do ko kala ay nyafa because we need to start lawmaker passing movement ko integrity sort of fana integrity are important dal na mo be da national assembly abita kudo keye me alan ko mo ma ki wala amari la integrity ni ngani ka kude that is the problem so integrity fana one problem but say the process and the primaries include from the level of the ward there will be no mistakes. I remember even the selection of Sirfo Sonko in Brikama. That was a big issue. You know, people were dissatisfied. Even Mayor Talib Bensu, the Kabirika select. You know, people were dissatisfied. Some people within their party. So, but everything, not you follow the process because I was even following to ask what their party process is in terms of primaries and other things. But it was not very clear because there was no document produced to me. So, but there should be documentation, Kajeko, I can fair, transparent manner. Everyone will have chance to contest. So, what are you going to do? Nyanda kilo to back.
What I'm doing, Jandim Bebula, Langalo, no ko manke politician oti, bari fonse nyinin ka nyina drong. Carte felenti, carte faita abanda. Gambia no liya decide ilafta kata nyamen. Itela jero to ni atara ko comme womanke. But ni atara ko wala kata Gambia no le system change because ngalo nako askeno ebe doila agenda read lale ibe NPP la agenda read lale because journalist solo mi ibe agenda jamal be read lale. But ni atara ko Gambia no le doila agenda le ni tombon num ebe mun itawa mun Gambia sifale expect kam anin sani ye disono menta Gambia sifa nyadi le bole expect kan ngara ba easy vena because journalist solo mi but ila do ko la fana mo proga Gambia no karamutandi woto ni atar ko Gambia no le system change le select ite amu da Gambia sifa nyadi le bawulula
ha men kuma yata wala doila agenda nyinto ngamen jeje kula mi alan ko ate tamalo no Gambia isaje ko because ilota men kama kusabalen ka foire ya bay ka injustice wala sembo ka jay mo kan ka bayjang ani ignorance ka filo bondi mol kan jang nyaje ku jamal ka kan jang filo la bi jang because anya jibe ila ka wolong mo la carte fanya jibe bang ni tata banko ba ndigo ndanga banko be murumu this 2021 ngam murumu ma Gambia ko na tambira sinya lululal bare lenka ke ita dawda ke nyini ka mena wala ti sato ke nyini ka party policy la basa ni masa kunda ya kenu ya responsibility kamol kuninde kamol krandi National Council for Civic Education ye sembo di wala masa kuna fanga state policy di ka je ko momo be Gambia ya be kunina by force hani da tuka sino fa be kunina o banko ni be juru wala because first thing you have to be aware awareness ni banketa so Gambia jang abe dame jang problem menti wala awareness ni abe ko mo bakala me ku jamal maka me takin nang la jamal bare awareness nyande ko le sembodi wala another issue is ngamen je develop agenda to fana electoral reform yo prioritize tackle because Gambia election system woni amu kulti mi alon ko kula nga story fon safe you know kono science fa skono bi wala kuno fa skono finda I don't even check yet skono sama finda ba ngala tamila tili sabara story nyimbe finda I interview a lot of experts about the Gambia electoral system but the phone people are happy with the marble system but there are issues mi alon ko da problem whether you need second round wala 50+% 50+% mi alon ko nyanda ka tanlulu ane fela kan dan ite keno nyaton ko ni mo soto then nyanda ka second round draft constitution on you natila fo so ni nada fanan issue of electoral reform anin ku jamal be mi alon ko nyanda ka wol jubele youth representation yalo youth leadership you know me please do sabe kam bakala Facebook before about the national youth council pareta kam well we have a council as a body that has an object and function but ila do ko ni amanta ka mo nyafa amanta ka ke so we just have a body but we don't have a functioning council until a jeroto you know so but these are issues me alon ko de ka fole ko like every year nde o kande sila baka fa alifa na onko alifa na o fa kande sila baka ako every 12 years science and education system nga jele over 500,000 people are in the school and will be ni ala ko will be jita ibina in the job market they need jobs so it is the primary duty of the state to provide them job so you don't want to a human being have to survive but say they bring about the cooperative system they will have a cooperative bank where people can access soft loans interest-free loans ikasang londo meto men kala national service ni paratala e kodo dila eta ye fama koy ni tara ko yura dem e dotal do ko la employment so kuntuno but now you bank be nyame jan land policy fana ni nata akaro because I'm going to just brief it ni land policy fana la karol like a banko real estate sold men kaka jam be nya bakan you know and then there are a lot of problems nan ko bank hani banko dingo te wulray banko men ka ete ko banko dingo ka land so dan is a problem ni land fana so ka law is another problem you have to be at least a millionaire to have a good house that is the situation in the Gambia right now and who will work to become a millionaire it's an issue so you have so and then the land if go for housing system for now e be won natila no wajala ko etara je ya jo foy pare
low cost
housing these are things those are workable things because other countries are doing it but we need to test it some people are doubtful one thing ajele ko those things I'm convinced that it can work so what so nyato ta nyimbole jela no ni nata come there was people voted for issues I've read all the parties their manifestos I read it but ngamen jeje ko all of them want progress banko bondi dama ta nyata but nak enyo danne so enyo danne janda kan banko dingo the electors will have been looking at those issues like for example the agricultural sector jube what did they say what did the other parties say ya compare for no you best because if African they will give farming implements fertilizer and other things to the farmers and then they come and buy from you at your farm and then even process it and turn it into finished products like for example diulino safuno and all those things biscuits import hani tamate loko import this because you could diulino we import more than $1 billion because so kawo kuntu you need a government a serious government member kuntu because need a problem kono when you are in a problem you need to have a solution based approach you need to have a solution based approach you need to have genuine and workable policies those policies momo is the responsibility of every person ka jube which policy works nata come it because of fancy crowd and other things it banku at a bono la je because Niko system at a banko bondino it will they have an alternative system then everyone should have interested to know that alternative system but I believe the message has reached the masses that people are saying I was covering for PDIS I covered them the crowd turnout was always impressive but at the end of the day I was surprised that people at the end of the day how the votes happen So, but the most important thing is a dog government will have actually prioritized civic education. Kamu kunindi. Kamu kunindi. Kaya ko hani dapat kasino fang ebe kunilan. And this is why this government also should be doing that. Kaya ko mule kuni. Because government we want people to hold you to account. That you are a responsible government. That every 5 years you report back to the people. Then you would prioritize civic education. Civic education, national constitution, our constitution. But I want to bunda de mel ko sembo bala. You know, they only go out during election or feed new projects for the you know. So they survive by means of maybe donation or cool mel ko pittance. I want to put mel ko sembo bebul. This should be the institution mel ko yanda ka sembo so government yanda ka engage in that. So the government will have prioritized civic education.
Abaraka bake mbeten tulambe jaila inataka programu mabe nyame akumata bake nyesoto nyame na yakada woto mega menol yamarla kaje ko nalbe mol tombon na next tombondiro anyanda don na de albe menkela parce que ngalo ko tonya kabrin campaign be keri election o keta wato men na bandan dafa na surprise kali so to la because ndama mi da ko gambe dol be carte fayla de but based non to dem ya fay nyame. But nevertheless, a chance to look at a Purkaning Banco body dinko kono ni integrity National Assembly sorry Assembly sort menga lonko asinyim banco tano at heart asinyim banco tano at heart what on bebula la ye la last word de gamenol yamari inte be continue la maybe 6 minutes singula da ye relax abaraka bake thank you very much
abaraka bake be yang podala nada nga kumo fu melan ko mantaku dalang hal madingo is mistake you cannot avoid it nata be rek na opinion no share rek democracy la banko la yurwala ngalon ko be ka kala nyo bulle anu momo kay programme follow you learn a lot because dafa ka follow sometimes you know so banko doko katalan can you challenge on opinions on policies kaje ko people will learn from it when you can compete on who has the best ideas, best policies, not who has the largest crowd ni ngai mol cost bakel banko murundi ko bakel anu nata ko bo ko rek tanya ka challenging ke who has the best agenda banko yande ko silo leta so balbe tentula mbal jayla alla jubero la sala
abaraka bake abaraka bade mulu mtefele be continuer la demanding mbeme fulale wolo min be nga kacha moyle kacha diata kacha betiata kacha betiata programol tata kuke ambe badul be tentula mbal jayla mba fulale ko programo nyin abe continuer le next week nyanta ka alaji mamadi kuran ne soto alaji mamadi kuran youth for change la secretary general ani la party leader nyanta wala soto la next week confirm le mba soto la janne nabe kachala wodo mom kana dang adu jannim be programme o soro na fana mba fala spoil keba please mbe dani la nyim programme mo buka mo nani jam mo buka mo kaja fi jam nkamol invite janne yela opinionol di bare mo buka mo ne na diam la kabrana ta na kacata amam mo ne jam albe alon ko amam mo ne jam ngela safero jele e kafoko madi is an evil well ni madi ku ketela molbe la gambia kono madi mo mel nafa ning abete ni madi tema ndela platform o manke blati anyanta fala dame janka nyo bunyale nga nyo horoma nga na issues di gambia la progress be kele nyaadi gambia be falina nyaadi gambia dimul be kunina nyaadi gambia dimul be issue kanina gambia no bu nyaadi gambe non be sadis kanina la banku nyaton ko bu nyaadi jannin ka foko kanum mansanete de kabulano gambe non be wulla ka to nya fonna dina nyaton ko le nyaadi le ko do tuje aramuta parce que dina nyaton ko dina nyaton ka bulare momo no ma bala ko do no dina nyaton ko melalon ko morol miti be bulare mol no ma melalon ko morial diate baake dina nyaton ko melalon ko e manke moriti bari mo kawandi la lelti ibe bulaka mol no ma melsi ko do dile la kawandol kono melsi platform mol dila ibebe wala articulate kan ndel mel mo banku dimul di nyanta fundile le kayiti la ko al fatad nafulo noma alebula ala noma anala kila do kachasi falle no maja nyaton kol melalo ko ibe dira ci folle nga funti nga foye ko de lafta giseno la lafta do ko la lafta na hajo le jara parce que ngal dundi je wala kamma wol isulu del kana wala kacha bukana jang kamo ne bukana jang kamo kajafi programme nyimbele YouTube live also subscribe no le PDOIS YouTube channel auto also subscribe no le be TikTok le be media o media nali along also PDOIS follow no jele also nyim programme follow no le Italy chapter PDOIS Italy chapter page also like no le ale join be o fanato le live be YouTube live be main page fana live so also programme nyin share also programme nyin like mbal tendula mbal jeyla mbal kontonna mba fulale ko aliya kata bake mbe nyofe wiki week mbe nala jambe kachala ndelma belo bari natale ka karang albulu alkamel safe janke ridle han programme ko la ntakata la nge rid ka karang nge bulu ni nga mistake ko ke ngakuma fo me alon ko mistake ko long alsa safe nole alsa programme ni seyando alsa safe nole alsa telefon contact nole directly ka fo nye ko yenyum kuma fo kari fo janne bara nyanta fo la tende mistake ko mu hada badum be mu hada badum la ni mistake ta damen nan ben hakke dani la bari natale pour ka karandi roke mvawol de karankan albulu lafta fanan alsalom fanan bulu be nga den National Assembly fele asita last week ngamol commandant na nyim programme do pour ka fundraising PDOIS la National Assembly mba sponsor la nyame doy la sympathisant doy la supportant doy la nomanan ko mu dawo dati momon de ni lafta Gambia National Assembly kendo sono mele alon ko ibe national issue damare kachala ibe banko damare jal woto alalla fay pirol kije alalla temirol kije delman fe soto bari zanano janne ka fami abatel mel bulu ali atray ale fendin keje fendu membe fanal bulu anin na makam zo keno jere yimbe mo le pour ka patio makoy yimbe mo le pour ka banko makoy yimbe mo le pour ka doy makoy pour Gambia kendo silono nyame because del convince ta nyinala comité convince ta nyame ko doy patio nabe lorin Gambia kono la progress sotola mbi nyato kaya kendo sotola adum be fahamo sotola la Gambia kono la adum be tilimbal ya fana bay la Gambia kono la adum be kala kilineti Gambia kono parce que ni nga Gambia tombo ndrom keta Gambia tiwoti nga sarawula ya bondije nga jola ya bondije nga mandinka ya bondije nga fula ya bondije nga kasinka ya bondije nga serere ya bondije bari nga Gambia dimu bondije nga proud wala kon tamu Gambia diwolati ni nga Gambia di nyoje nga loafe nga fasa dina ni nga Gambia di nyoje ay mistake ko kedro mbe funti ngo mistake ko embrace mbela mbe juke sangol kila natal juke sangol kila social media mbe nyo kaja fila social media mbe nyo nen na social media wol man nyang tagi na jela ko Gambia di mun dina klim fakli wala mu Gambia di wuti amu Gambia di wuti nyame mu Gambia di wuti wo nyame uto mbe mu na klim fakli neti même mala problème oti wala mun na problème oti même mala kairoti wala mun na kairoti même mala tañato oti wala mun defana la tañato oti ning kafta ñoma ngawa embrace mbla taw noma wallahi me Gambia kendo sotoral bari nte laftan Gambia la ñaato tala ite lafta yi famo la ñaato tala Gambia be ta ñaato wati jumale maybe ite sira ñaato ta soto non bari mo jamala be Gambia kono men ngalon ko ni te ninte man kaf ñoma pour Gambia ñaato ta soto wolta ñaato ta soto molmel kasareto siti falola kila musol sinda kono ke samba leptan ni te ninte man lo pour wolé ñaato ta soto wolta ñaato ta soto no le faye parce que malo adum tel be la kangolo mo ñinte pour ka wol lo dindala wala kende na joy ko il laftale ka ignorance bay parce que ni ya long ibe ta kulal bar ni ma long ibe ta la nyaadi mon me la long ko ka min sol siti tanol la pour ka jio bonni kolon kono me ngalon ka be ta la 20 meter deep wala nyanto lo me bo hol kendo soto ji kendo soto wala rakle mo woti bari ni te ko wol mo floleti wol ma nyanna kaw soto wonyata ta la man ni ka kodale kon man ninka sate leto wala nyata tala saragule sate leto bari wo fula sate ni wol mo fulo leti man ki Gambia noti ite dum mo Gambia dimleti wol mo Gambia dimleti bari wala wo sate e ko ha wol bi dinala la saji Gambia passeport be bulu Gambia passeport be bulu bari wala wo gisato baliya no ete niyo tora kurang be tele sokon bo holo be tele sokon ibe laare bu nyima kono la nyindo nin sama kata sama ka jota kumula kam nin sama ke dala bu musa yoyno le ka boy parce que abalaari poto le kono ite mo ke ite men ke a wala mi ite balaari min tole ite mo mu kan nyaadi le wonten Gambia di yati wom selfishness rate bari yaje ko ite balaari bu kendo kono do balaari banko le to ya try ka bandugo banko kono fa nan la bu kendo kono ñine doy londe ñine mu doy la ñaaton ko la lot lati ngajelo kon na comrade saho men banda Abdoulie ala lot la kete menti banko kan ngajelo ko Halifa Sallah la lot la menti banko kan ngajelo ko Sidia Jata la lot la menti banko kan anti ami happy birthday ila birthday tambita demande mbe konton nala bake ngajelo ka lota memba Soybu Tourelu Ousmane Sillalu ilota banko e nyame ko passa ba jaw ibe lota banko e nyame pour que ñu banko bonni ndel be sa kenole ni nga Gambia je ngam beje ko be mo Gambia din kilinet be mo Gambia din kilinet be nakli be fakli yemen kanu foye yole kanu ino Gambia din doye no mata aka kansi fa nyaadi lafo aka fole ba mare mu aka bure bam jarama aka kansi fa wo kansi fa lafo kasumai aka ka wo kan lafo nko ibari iti aje ko nyin Gambia lolo mu amanya na batala niyo tambindi yo ke fest comme doy ñaton ko yake ñame momo ni fitata doy la biro ke bu ke ñinin kay tam jumara ke bata min dole ka ka ñadi defo you are welcome with open arms doy la biro be yibu kamo discriminate adu ngalo ko patio jamabe Gambia ko no ila leadership do wala ñam patio le famo be la leadership do wala ñam because ite tala parti la leadership ko no ya tara sikilin damade bi ikaño embrace le pati ñaton ko fo damma ka ñoo embrace le del no malan ko le ka ñoo hasidia del no malan ko le ka ñoo nani del no malan ko le ka ñoo kajafi ñoo ke la promu de Gambia jera bam ala baraka ba ke mbal tan dula mbal jayla sibitina la be alhaji Mamadou Kourane sotola mbal tan dula mbal jayla al ci programme o ñi sea mo be karanje commenter be kan kan ngala bu ñane ala baraka ba ke alnal bad malam safir drame be ay fu ngala Italie bafulale assalamu alaikum be Gambia no yamarla ye doyla National Assembly member tombo vela si Gambia kendo soto isi Gambia soto me alon ko abe falinna isi police kendo soto me alon ko man sakunda be mel natla wolbe pasla man sakunda be police kurundu mel natla isi wol fay bandala ye Gambia kendo lon mbal tendu lamba jeyla mbafulale assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi